Hello everyone, my name is Chris Murphy and thank you for visiting my channel. This channel is all about empowering agents to master their craft and become better leaders. Today is day 15 on this journey, so we're halfway there. Definitely, we've learned some things, so that's great. We're going to get into a couple of topics here, but real quick, just want to go over the numbers for the day. Got a bunch of dials. 332 dials in today. I had 13 people pick up the phone. I only had 81 minutes of talk time, so not really getting into many conversations. Getting pretty frustrating seeing the same thing happen every day, right? I'm with you on that. Today we had a leadership meeting, and so that was pretty helpful. And I can go over those couple things in a minute, but really, I just want to be honest with you. I've never seen anybody put in this much activity and not even get a lay down. Like, we're talking 300. I mean, let's just look at all the numbers, because I track it. And if you don't have a tracker, you really should have a tracker. So today, 332 over the last 2 days of weekends was about 330. And then you got Friday, 254, 257, 296, 225, 222, 179, 282, 245. So all those dial 178, 140, 212. What I mean, we're looking at what, thousands and thousands of dials with no sales and barely any presentations, really. So you ask yourself, Chris, you really suck, right? And I'm looking at the thing, so it's like, okay, my 30 seconds with the objections, working on that, slow down, polish this up, got some feedback. People are telling me, no, Chris, you're really strong in the first 30 seconds. Matter of fact, you're really strong on the phone. And look at it. And when I start looking at all this data and information and as much activity as I'm putting in, and where is the silver lining? What's the missing, right? And the only thing that I can think of in my experience is there's some kind of disconnect with my leads. Right now, as a leader, you say, as soon as you hear someone start complaining about the leads, you're like, oh no, we know this kid. It's never the leads. It's always the person. It's always the person, right? Which I agree if the actual lead was a real lead. And that's all I'm saying. So let's lay this out. So when I used to do door knocking, people would fill out a form. It would get mailed to them. They would fill it out. They would send it back. So if you took a bunch of leads and you went out and worked them and you put in a ton of activity, let's just say 100 door knocks, you are going to stumble across a laydown. There's somebody that you're not going to have to do much luck that's just wanting to buy insurance. Some other sales agent or has already sold them. They've already sold themselves. They just need the policy. Like, that's called a laydown. It's impossible not to find one through massive amounts of activity. You just are going to find one. I don't really know any leader. And if there is one out there, please put in the comment that you've seen someone put in massive activity for, let's just say 2 weeks straight and they did not make a sale. It's unheard of. It's absolutely unheard of. So I'm starting to look at, okay, so what have I been doing differently or I'd say wrong over the last 14 days? Out of the 13 pickups today, 2 of the people, kind of my bad from a while back, they got the policy 30 days ago. And the lead is over 30 days old. If you don't remember some of my prior talks when, I set stuff up and I started purchasing leads, but then didn't do anything. Well, some of those people that, picked up today, that's them. And I'm dealing with that. But I mean, I am still getting new leads every day for the last 14 days. And we have done some things with my lead campaign to change it around, but I don't, I'm at a loss, really understanding what's going on, because I should at least found someone by now as a lay down. That's one of the things that is going on with me. And it was extremely frustrating today. I mean, just hang up after hang up after hang up. Look at my numbers. It shows that I shouldn't even be in this business. I mean, it's ridiculous. You just read it, right? That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20. We're looking at we're about 2,600 dials. Where's the mishap, right? Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out. So, it was extremely frustrating to me. I had a break. I literally just at the end of the day, I sat here and I was just like, damn. I just started bawling. And, I'm like, does God hate me that much? I know that's ridiculous, right? But I mean, that's the way I'm feeling. It's like I've really never seen someone put in this much effort and mental, positivity of trying and learning and getting better each day to have help no families. So I can focus on a lot of the other non-sales wins, and that's great. But the bottom line is, I picked a career that if you don't make sales, you will not last. So, tomorrow we're going to do something different. When I got into insurance on the phone, I was booking appointments way back in the day when I first got my license. So, you would get leads and you would call to book appointments, and then you go out in the field. Okay. Then after that, I went to door knocking. Door knocking is you get leads, you go out and you knock the doors. Okay. So then after that, I went to W-2 work for Telesales. That was around when COVID hit. And I got into a W-2 company, Health IQ and AccuQuote. I worked for each one for a little over a year. Did very well in both of them, up there with the top selling agents. I think with Health IQ, my best day was 16 applications. That's with ancillaries. And I submitted over 100,000 with True Stage and Gerber. And that was it. Of course, that was back in 2000. Right. Beginning of COVID, 2021. So that times were different then. Leads were different then. Now they were a lot more quality of leads. Now, people started to realize that the money was in the leads, not helping the agents, but actually just reselling the leads to everybody, and you can just make a bunch of money. So that's what people started doing. So now leads are a lot different. So I actually never physically had to call the client from a cold position and then get them into a conversation, right? By the time they got to us, a lot of that was already handled. Now, I did the same thing at AccuQuote. They had transfers. Gotcha. Now we're doing this. I have to call people from a cold within, a little bit of time. They responded to, and I'm getting these leads in real time and I'm calling them every day. So people are filling them out and I'm calling them. I mean, I'm literally calling some of them as soon as I get the lead. So I'm picking up, or as soon as they pick up, they just hang up on me. And so I'm like, don't know where or what to do, right? That's the kind of thing. So I started analyzing, is it my first 30 seconds? Is it my rebuttals? Is it my tone? Is it my cadence? And all these other things that I've worked on. And then I've listened to other people and I say, everyone says that's fine. So then what is it? So tomorrow, what I'm going to do is we're going to do the live lead transfer. Turn it on and we're going to, at least probably take 10 if we can get to 10. So there's like a 90-second buffer to make sure this person, and gives you a little bit of time. If they're tire kicker, you don't have to pay for the lead. But so I'm going to take those tomorrow, and If I can get 10 of them in, that's great. I should make 4 sales. So we're going to see what results we get. And if tomorrow, if I'm popping out these sales from taking these calls, well, then I know that is not me. Because right now, all I can think of is it's me. And I'm wrapping my brain around like, I've got to be the problem, you know? But I don't think it is. So we're going to see, and we're going to get some more data and information for tomorrow. So we had this leadership meeting today with Empower Life Group. Dana Neeson, that's the group I'm a part, Lasting Mark, with, Roger Short, Chris Ball, Zach, the whole team. But it was just her group of the leaders that she's, developing. And when we were in there, we were going over things. She was saying, one of the things that she learned is how she needs to lead her leaders. She needs us leaders to let her know, like, kind of a little bit about how we need to be led. And so it opened up for some conversations. But the thing that I thought was very unique is some of the people in there in what they had, feelings, emotions, and things or roadblocks in their life. And so on some things, they're like smashing it and doing so well. And then on other things, they're so scared and they're afraid, and they don't see the value or how much they have to give. And it was really interesting to understand that we're all on different paths. Like for right now, if you look at me, like I know a lot about call structure, I know a lot about tech, I know a lot about different carriers, I know a lot about how to help someone and teach someone. But as a leader, if my people under me don't have a finger to point to, right, where are they going to go? So we're not some of those companies where it's you just hire everybody, throw it against the wall, or you hire them and you say, oh, just do this. It works. No, we are a company about like, we'll show you how to do it. We'll do it with you. We'll teach you. And look, I can do it too. So it's like, I've got all these things that I want to do and help and teach and show a lot of knowledge and skills to help other people. And that's what I want to do. But it's kind of funny if you were to think about it, right? So wait a minute, you have knowledge, experience, skills, and you're going to teach me how to do all this, yet you can't make a sale? Come on, right? No one's going to buy into that leadership. Got to be able to do it, so therefore that we can keep the structure and the culture of the community that we're building together. And then that person becomes a leader, and then they do it the same way and the same way out. For instance, let's say, you were into leadership and you only did something this way. Found another person to get into the business and they're growing. The only way that you're going to know to do it is this way. So the only people that you're going to attract are the people that have the money to be able to do it the way that you're doing it. Right? Exactly. So in this, if you learn the basics and the bottom line, then you can teach and show other people and give them all of your experience and knowledge and how to, build people up and lead them and show vision and preach into them, and all that good stuff is what we're doing in this culture. But if you have no right, meaning it doesn't matter what you did last year or 5 years ago, about what you do right now, and if you're not doing that right now, like, who's going to listen to you, or who's ever going to think you're creditable? Like, nobody is, right? Exactly. So on one hand, I'm like, and on the other, I'm like, okay, how do we get out of this? So as a business owner, you got to figure it out or you're going to be out of business. And so that's what we're doing. We're going through the different motions and we're figuring this out. When we get this figured out, we're going to be jamming and everything's going to be great. But the biggest thing about this today is just so you know you're not alone. I mean, people go through this. You get bad batches of leads. You set up bad lead campaigns. You get leads. You don't call them. You don't work on your 30-second, introduction, rebuttal, your pace, your tone. I mean, there's so many things that go on. It's like baby steps. You got to learn first to crawl, and then you can learn to walk and run and then marathon. So it's very similar in all these moving parts. And in some cases, like, I have so many of the moving parts, except for this one, which is the most important, which is actually helping a family. And if I'm not helping a family, that family is not getting help. So that sucks, because now they're in a position where they don't want to be, and they need someone to help them get through this, because this is an emotional, no one wants to talk about it. Most people don't know about it, and it's personal. We're selling an invisible, non-tangible product to somebody that will never use it. Right. And so if I'm not helping a family, I'm not feeling good. I'm not helping my family. And then I can't teach and show other people all the stuff that I know. Whew. So you can see how this runaround is really like throwing me through a loop. And I still can't believe in all these dials I've not even found a lay down. It's unfathomed to me. But hey, that's the way it is. We're going to figure it out. Tomorrow we're going to get after it with these live transfers and see what happens. So, if this content's helpful, if you think I'm crazy, if you're like, let's watch this dude because his life sucks and it makes me feel better about mine, that's great. Stay tuned. We're going to figure it out, and it's going to be a journey. So like, share, subscribe. All right, y'all. Stay tuned tomorrow. See what happens.